So, the really last word. So we're almost at the end. Congratulations. Topics. So this is new features. These are new features that are going to coming up quite soon. So the idea is it's a kind of extension of a queue where you can have different subscribers. So you can have one publisher, you can have subscribers, and you can subscribe and consume in different ways. You can subscribe according to rules based on what is inside the message. So again, it's just an extension of what a queue is, and gives you just that. It gives you what you would otherwise have to program yourself. And you can have lots and lots of subscriptions per topic, which is effectively a queue. So this is one way of basically farming out, an easy way of farming out very different queue data. So, process a PNG, process a GIF, process an MPEG, and they can all go to different worker roles depending on the actual information that wants to happen. The other thing is AppFabric composition. So when we designed this application, we kind of went, okay, yeah, so we want a queue, and we want some storage, we want a table, we want a worker role, we want a UI role. All of that is actually quite complicated to set up and quite hard work, because you have to go into various management interfaces and register components separately and sort everything out. It can take quite a long time. This is a mock-up of what they envisage, but it should be coming out fairly soon. So the idea is you define your structure in one place, and when you deploy, it creates all those other things for you without you having to go into the interface and say, I want a queue and I want this queue to be called X, and I want a table and I want this table to be called Y. It does all of that for you, which actually will save quite a lot of time, especially if you want to sell these packages on. So you can sell Azure applications and let somebody else deploy packages that you have packaged for them, and they don't have a really complicated install sequence of creating these random databases and stuff all over the place. It just does it for you. It's also on the web. So Azure is primarily controlled via a Silverlight web interface, and it's all up there. There are various levels of interface depending on what features you have. So, for example, access control is actually a completely separate Silverlight application. There are multiple Silverlight applications, and this is where you can really tell there are multiple different teams working on something together that is called Azure. But they're trying to solve that. So I think they've got Scott Guthrie on board now to try and help them get the end-to-end story right. They're improving things all the time. So a little bit back in time, so you can see that they didn't have Service Bus until recently. The application manager is starting to be available. They're moving things to availability. They're refreshing things. Access control is changing. All these features keep on being added and keep on revving. So this is the middleware, the ability to take pieces of functionality and just plug in your application using them. It means that people can start using Azure really, really quickly. The other thing is that at the moment, Windows Azure is in 6 data centers worldwide, which is unfortunate for German companies. German companies cannot use Azure because there is not a data center in Germany. And part of German law is that data for German companies must be kept within Germany. So what they've done is, with a bunch of partners, they've actually created physical hardware that you can buy, put in your data center or whatever, and that will be Azure. So I imagine that now they've started to release these, so they basically, with a bunch of other partners, they said, look, this is the hardware, this is how the software's, we'll do the software, whatever. And you can buy, and you will be able to buy a box which is your own private Azure. That is that.